You know, I do appreciate many of my subscribers, but we got to set the record straight right now. Because you guys are infatuated with turning him into something that may not be there. And that's not what my channel is about. I'm just more on the don't be a hypocrite type of vibe, you know what I'm saying? But if it's not there, it's not there. However, we will find out. I will keep my promise. Thanks to Zip with the Drip. Now, I've seen recently that Mr. Miller and his cousin Kyle have flipped on P2. I don't even know what it's about. I'm just enjoying the content. You understand? I like how Kyle puts his videos together. I've mentioned this way before. He had to spank Zip that, son gets busy when he feels like it on the internet. He's one of them. There's a few. They're younger than me. You understand? So you got a few from every borough. Shout out to CC in Harlem. You know, whenever they feel like it, they could just turn it up on you. Right? You got Relly in the Bronx. You got a few of them out here. Whenever they feel like it, they could just turn it up on you on the internet. Even if you think you're that guy. What I really think is that Zips, his channels of revenue, you understand? I don't think they're that strong. I don't know if they're stronger than Kyle's. I don't know. I'm just paying attention out here. You understand? Kyle looks like he's moving and shaking in a lot of different areas on his Instagram. That could be facade, but maybe it's not. You understand? Zip, whenever he's outside, he has on the Pooh Shiesty. You got to preserve your brand. You know, and that's a dangerous thing about this here internet. You start chasing that dollar and you jump out the window, or you get a certain sense of popularity and notoriety and then you jump out the window. I've been on TV since I was 17 on public access in not only my town but different boroughs, Queens and Manhattan, and so I don't care. So respectfully, guys, my fight is not your fight. Now, I don't mind fighting for something if it's there, but I'm not gonna go ghost hunting either. However, he did mention Fat Cat in this paperwork. He did mention Fat Cat in this paperwork. So this is actual paperwork. You guys love it. You guys love it. I'll take advantage of the opportunity, right? So either it's going to be there or it's not going to be there. That's it. Either we're going to find what you guys are looking for to turn him into a rat, or it's not. Now, I spoke to somebody today, and I said, yo, he did 30 years. You don't think they would have found that in 30 years? They said, nah, my man did 2 terms. He's a full-fledged rat. I said, what? Your man he did 15 the first time. Then he went back in for another 10. Jesus. What? We got to get your man a mom or a pastor the next time he comes out. This is crazy. You can't be just throwing away 25 years like it's nothing. Anyway, this here document, it says defendant's reply motion to the government's opposition to the defendant's motion for modification of an imposed term of imprisonment. In plain English, this is Gerald Miller's written comeback to the government's attempt to keep him in prison. To understand it, it helps to break it down like a tennis match where the 3 legal papers were filed in a specific order. The defendant's motion for modification. So that means Miller started this paperwork working from prison on his own. This is called pro se. Now that's going to be very important when it comes to this specific document. I'm going to tell you why in a second. Because he wrote it. So when Lorenzo Nichols is mentioned in this paperwork, it is not mentioned by just some random person. This is Prince's paperwork mentioning Fat Cat. And we're going to look at what he says in this paperwork. He filed a request asking the judge to change, reduce, or modify his original sentence. The government's opposition. The government hit back, and they filed a formal response telling the judge, no, do not change his sentence. His original punishment was justified, and he should stay exactly where he is. This is what they said in the paper. So, motion to reply to. This document is Miller's final smash because the government tried to shut down his initial request. The court gave him one last chance to reply. In it, he is essentially telling the judge the government is distorting the facts. And here is my argument. So, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this argument where he mentions Fat Cat Nichols. It is on page 8, actually 9, and it's right there. Let's blow that bad boy up. It's right there. And it says, Lorenzo Nichols. Now, he's writing this. So let me say it in a tone. Lorenzo Nichols received 40 years for several murders, including the Bolden homicide. Joseph Rogers, who actually committed the murder, received only 8 years. So basically he's saying, yo, check this out. Why am I in here for life? And that is a great question that some may ask. Why was he in there for life if Lorenzo Nichols only got 40 years and the guy who committed the murder got 8 years? Now, at first glance, you say, "Oh, is that snitching? Are you telling my boy? Why are you mentioning who did what? Are you telling my boy?" And without dragging out the video, I could be wrong, but I do not think this is telling. And I'm going to tell you why right now. One, these people were already convicted and sentenced. Lorenzo Nichols and Joseph Rogers. 2, these people already admitted guilt to these crimes. Lorenzo Nichols and Joseph Rogers. And 3, these people cooperated with the government to receive these sentences. Lorenzo Nichols and Joseph Rogers. So, to mention the obvious after all the paint has dried, if I'm mentioning your name, I'm not mentioning your name to get out of a situation. Everything is closed. It's already done. So I'm basically asking you, well, why'd you give me 6 life terms if this guy only got 40? And the answer is obvious. This guy told, do you have something to offer? Because we can work something out. This is public knowledge, so it's not like I'm writing this. I'm doing this to expose Joseph. I'm not here to call him names or anything like that. To be quite honest with you, I'm really riding this shit to the bank. I mean, I could tell you some bullshit about this, that, and the third. No, the people, for some reason, they like the way I explain things when it comes to the underworld, and I don't know. It's doing all right. I'm doing all right over here with this type of content. I think as long as I stay true, and that's the thing about it, I know I can feel in the comments a lot of guys, they want me to go way harder, and that's not my fight. Right? So I heard about the alleged things with the females, but no female has stepped up. And like I already explained, I can't not stand on that if no females have stepped up. That's just my rule. Right? Now, you guys want me to go super hard on him being a snitch, and that's not my thing. But my thing is, don't be a hypocrite. You can't say you opening up other people's. You throwing paperwork parties on other people, and you might be shady. Now, at the request, I have done what you guys asked for. You'll get that soon. You'll get it soon. But I just want to let you know, there may be nothing there, and at that time, you guys gotta let it. Don't keep looking. If nothing is there, that's it. And don't expect me to keep searching for something that's not there. So I know what you wanted to hear during this video. You wanted to hear that he was a snitch. Not during this video. You won't hear that during this video. There was no evidence that Prince was a snitch in this video. However, he did mention Lorenzo Nichols, as I mentioned before. So, that's that. You can hit the like button. You can hit the dislike button. I don't care. I got more content coming. You understand? That being said, salute. Peace out.